We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hey guys, I'm Derek with Newschool Telemark. Today we're going to go over a couple of tips and tricks that I've learned over the past couple of years telemark skiing. So hopefully we'll cover just some of the ways that I weight my left and right leg as I'm turning down, and also maybe a little bit on some backward skiing because I've had a couple of comments requesting that. So yeah, let's get into it.
Oh Lord, don't let him leave me now.
One of the first things I want to go over is weight distribution between the rear and lead leg when making turns. I think the general kind of rule of thumb is to weight your front and back leg 50-50. I tend to actually put a lot more weight on my rear leg. That helps me kind of initiate a turn and hold it a little bit better. And it also, you'll see in some of the videos, right, it changes the style of skiing. So it allows me to get a lot lower and have a little bit more control, especially in bumps. Now on icy days, it doesn't always work. I have to have more of an upright stance. What I was trying to demonstrate in that last clip is a 60-40, kind of 60 rear leg, 40 on the front. That allows you to really drive the turn and steer with the rear. I think that gives you a little bit more control, especially as you're learning to telly. You find that sometimes your tips cross and just kind of struggle to get your feet underneath you. Weighting that rear a little bit more than 50-50, so a 60-40, or even if you're very early on in your telly learning career, going 70-30 to get a feel for that back edge is really helpful for kind of progressing more quickly. Another pretty helpful trick is kind of on your rear leg, kind of leaning into that pinky toe, and on your lead leg, right, leaning into your big toe. And trying to feel the pressure on both of those toes will help you hold an edge on both feet. It's just a lot easier to like hold these sweeping turns and get super low to the ground. Another kind of useful trick to have in your tool bag is the tele pizza, and this kind of ties into the weight distribution. So having a little bit more weight on your back leg can help you out of some tricky situations. So the idea is basically you're putting a lot of weight, more than you would if you're making a turn, on your rear leg, and you're kind of kicking out your front leg into a kind of a pizza with that rear leg. So the rear leg's holding most of the turn, and this is kind of operating as like your front leg is operating more as like an emergency brake. Super helpful for some sketchy situations to kind of cut speed fast, but also pretty useful tool for giving yourself like a manufactured face shot, right? So kicking up a lot of snow when you're making a turn as you roll into the lift line, stuff like that. I'll do my best to explain how I ski, tele-ski backwards, but I'm sure it won't reflect what everybody does. So first things first, you kind of just start in a tele stance, whichever way you're going. Your front leg, you're basically going to be looking over the shoulder of the front leg, right? So if my left leg's forward and I'm turning basically downhill, I'm turning to the left side of the mountain, I'm going to be looking over my left shoulder, right? And it's really just a matter of weighting that back foot to make sure you have an edge. So basically what I'm doing is I'm initiating the turn by changing which shoulder I look over, and then immediately weighting the back foot of the opposite. So if I'm looking over my left shoulder, I'm weighting the rear right leg, right? Then when I want to initiate a turn, I look over my right shoulder and weigh my new left rear leg. And that's really all I have for tips. I don't know. There's not much more to it than that.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
I don't want to do a hot telemark tutorial.
Okay, well what do you want to do then? One way to do it.